Tuesday, November 17th, 2020. And this is the ELT125 section 1. And as always, before we start, we are going to play a game. And that game, it's called Celebrity Tweets, Real or Fake. So this game basically consists, I am going to show you some tweets, some screenshots of tweets, and you have to identify whether they are real tweets made by celebrities or famous people, or if they are fake. So it's very simple and kind of funny. So this is the first tweet, and it was tweeted by Melania Trump. And the tweet says, "What is she thinking?" So do you think this is a real tweet or is it a fake tweet?
I think it's real.
You think it's real, Ignacio? What about the rest?
I think it's something that I would say, so I think it's true. It's real.
It's real? Yeah.
I think it's real too.
Yeah, you think it's real too? Yeah, this tweet is actually real. She did tweet that on the 10th of August in 2012, like 8 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it was a weird tweet, but I would have also tweeted that. So yeah, this one is a real tweet. Now this is the second one. It says, "Shrek is overweight and Fiona is enabling him. Sad." The tweet is by Donald Trump. And what do you reckon? Is it real or is it fake?
I think it's.
You think it's fake?
I think it's fake.
You think it's fake? I remember
Fake.
I remember I saw some tweets from Donald Trump a while ago, and he was making some comments about Twilight. I don't know if you have seen that movie about Robert Pattinson and Kristen
That's
Stewart.
in the tweet, but not the movie.
Yeah, this one is a fake tweet. He didn't tweet that. But he has tweeted some questionable things over the past, and writing at the end "sad" is something very typical of him. So yeah, let's move on. This is the third one. This was tweeted by T-Pain, which is an American rapper, and it says, "Ever wonder how many ghosts have you have hit with your car?" What do you
I
reckon?
think it's real.
That is real. I saw that tweet on a compilation.
It's real.
Yeah.
The same like the first one. I think it's something that I would say too. I would ask myself.
It's something. I agree with you. It's something I will say, but I don't know if it's something I will tweet. Perhaps I will tweet this if I think nobody's going to see it. But it's kind of funny and hilarious at the same time, and it's just a great tweet. Have you ever questioned yourself that?
No, never.
No, me too.
I don't have a car.
Same. I also don't have a car. Perhaps when I buy
I don't know
one,
how to drive.
I also need to learn how to drive first. So we are on the same, in the same car, literally in the same path. Like they said in High School Musical, we are in this together. So the next one, by Michael B. Jordan, the actor who has been in many movies. One of the last ones was Black Panther, and he was the antagonist. He was a bad guy. And the tweet says, "The B in Michael B. Jordan stands for biggest Spongebob fan." What do you reckon? What do you think about this?
I think it's real.
You think it's real?
I don't know. It sounds weird.
It sounds weird. What about the rest? Natal, Sadka,
I
Sebastian.
think it's fake.
You think it's fake?
It sounds.
I think
I don't
it's
know.
Yeah, I think so. It's fake.
Fake.
me too.
You too. Well, you're right, because this is actually a fake tweet, sadly. I don't know if Michael B. Jordan really likes Spongebob. I do. I don't know about you, but I do. And this one, I don't know if you have heard about Ariana Grande or Ariana Grande before. And the tweet, she's a singer, by the way, and the tweet says, "Beep Bob, hee hee, I'm a robot." Real or fake? Is it a fake tweet or is it a real one?
It sounds fake.
Sounds fake to you.
Yeah.
What about the rest? Diego, you
I think it's fake.
You think it's fake? Well, you are right. It is a fake tweet. She didn't
It
say
would be
that.
fun that we actually have tweeted that before, but
Yeah. And this is the last one. And it was supposedly tweeted by Ed Sheeran, a British singer. And it says, "It upsets me when restaurants think they are too good for ketchup. No one is too good for ketchup. Ketchup is too good for you." What do you think? Is this real or is this fake?
I don't know. It sounds fake, but I've said fake a lot of times, so I think maybe this one is real.
I think it's real.
You think it's real?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, this one is actually real. Ed Sheeran did tweeted that, and he also not only tweeted this one, but he made a thread because another singer like comment on this, and she said like respect. Like when you agree with someone, people usually in Twitter say respect. And then he continues saying that even though the restaurant didn't give him ketchup, he brought a bottle from his home or something like that. So he was like one step ahead, you know? He was ready to eat his food with ketchup, even though the restaurant didn't give him ketchup, and that upset him. So as you may see, Ed Sheeran is very passionate about ketchup, which is something I personally can relate because I also love ketchup. Do you like ketchup?
I like it, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Oh, I'm sad. Do you like? Do you
Yeah.
prefer mayonnaise or mustard?
No, neither.
No,
I don't
neither.
like that. I don't like it that much either.
Okay, I see. What about the rest? Do we have another opinion?
I like
Yeah,
it.
I
I'm a
like
big fan
ketchup,
of ketchup
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
but only
I
for
like
fries,
ketchup.
not
Me
for
too.
spaghetti
with
or
French fries.
Oh, I
Oh,
can
delicious.
I can put ketchup in almost everything, and even if I don't, I have that taste so integrated in my brain that I can imagine what other foods may taste with ketchup. So I am actually a big fan of it.
Ketchup.
I'm sorry, what?
It's
Did you want to?
delicious, the ketchup.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
delicious, at least for me. And that was the last one, sadly. And now I don't know if you remember, but last class we were talking about features of connected speech, such as assimilation and linking and intrusion, in the case of linking R and intrusive R. And that is something we are going to continue working today. But first, we are going to have a formative quiz. And like there says, then we are going to have the 10-minute break, and then we are going to continue with linking and intrusion. Do you know what a formative quiz is? Quizzes? Because sometimes when we
a
say,
quiz
oh,
for practice.
yeah, exactly. a quiz for practice. And in this case, it's not a typical what we used to call a pen and pencil quiz, or in this case, like a word quiz from Microsoft Word. But it is a game because I like games, and I really want you to like this game. So we are going to play this. That it is a very well-known game, and it's called Who Wants to Be a Billionaire? But first, we are going to move on to this slide because I remember last class, one of you, I think it was a girl, I don't remember who it was, I'm so sorry, asked me about formal, informal. I mean, when we use assimilation, is it formal or informal or something like that? And I found this definition on Roach, in the Peter Roach book. And it says, it is believed that assimilation varies in extent according to speaking rate and style, and it is more likely to be found in rapid, casual speech and less likely in slow, careful speech. So it can happen in both of them, but it's usually more found. I mean, it's usually found in rapid, casual speech. With this being said, we are going to move on to our second game, which is this one. And I want to try something on Teams. So please be patient. I don't know. No word. That's something like a balance. Okay, so I don't think I can. I am going to need the chat for this activity. So, so here it is. This is a game which is called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And it was a game that it was usually played by people who wanted to be a millionaire. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Channel 13 used to air this program here in Chile. And it is a very well-known game. And
Diana Boloco.
Yes, Diana Boloco was
Diana
the
Boloco.
presenter of this program.
The presenter of this program.
Yeah. And this game consists in a question that's given to the participants, and they have to answer A, B, C, or D. And depending on their answers, we are going to see if you are going to become a billionaire or not at the end. So it is a very simple game, and those are the rules. And this is the first question. And I should, yeah, it was, oh, sorry. It was a bad idea to do this because you cannot see the full screen. So give me a second. Yeah, now we're ready to start. If I... now, as I already mentioned, we are ready to start. And the first question is very simple. For $100, the question is, feature of connected speech in which there is an alteration of the speech sound to make it more similar to its neighbors. This definition refers to letter A, linking R, letter B, assimilation, and letter C, intrusive R, or letter D, weak form. How this is going to work is that I am going to write on the chat the number 1, and then I am going to give you, I am not going to give you, I am going to write letter A, B, I don't know if you can see the letter, the number 1. Can you see number 1?
Yes.
Great. Then B. And oh, I don't know why, but my computer is kind of slow, so letter A wasn't sent. Oh, there it is. And finally, letter T. Now you need to vote on which option do you think is the correct answer. You have 30 seconds to do this. So we have 1 vote. You can give thumbs up, you can give hearts, you can give, what other options do we have available? Angry faces, scary faces, surprise faces, happy faces. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. How many are we in the meeting? We are 17. Minus 2, you are 15. I want at least 10 answers. Have 5, 6, 7. Come on, you can do it. Just go to the chat and cast your vote. So we have 7, 8, 9. One more, please, so we can continue. Thank you very much, Gaspar. So you're correct. The first one was very simple. It is assimilation. And all this formative quiz is about assimilation. So keep an eye on that and try to remember the concepts we covered last class. And now, for $200, we have assimilation can take place between 2 words, within a word, in isolated words, or across words boundaries or within a word. Once again. You can cast your vote now. So we have one vote for let option D. You have 20 seconds. So time's up. Oh, yes.
Are you still sharing?
If am I still sharing?
No, you are sharing because we couldn't see like for 15 seconds, but now is well.
Okay, so the answer of this one is letter D, across word boundaries or within a word. So remember that assimilation, it was basically all of the above. It can happen in isolated words. It can happen in those isolated words, inside those words, therefore within a word, or it can happen between two words. And when it happens between two words, it happens between the boundaries of those two words. Right? Now I am going to need help from a volunteer for the $300 question. So, Bastian, can you help me with number 3, please? Can you see the?
Yes, is C.
You can see?
Is C.
No, can you read the question? And the
Assimilation is which a preceding sound has an effect on a following one. This is the definition of regressive assimilation.
can you read the options as well?
A. Progressive assimilation. B. Coalescent assimilation. C. Regressive assimilation. D. None of above. Lol.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I am writing the options in the chat, but for some reason it is very slow. Oh. So now you have 20 seconds to answer. And let's see. The correct answer is letter A. Dun, 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 dun. How many people voted A Two people. Two people. We are going to see why this was a letter A. And it says, assimilation in which a preceding sound has an effect on a following one. So the first sound affects the second one. It goes forward. It doesn't go backwards. It's something that it's progressive, like the name says. It's, yeah, that's the definition it has. It's when we have a phoneme, and that phoneme affects the phoneme that comes before it. I mean after it, not before. So it's in a progressive line. Do you understand this, or do you need more explanation? A better explanation.
I understand it.
Okay. Yeah.
I just confused with the with the
The
with the
definition?
phrase. Yes, with the definition.
Yeah, it is a little bit complicated because it's a preceding sound, something that it's like pre, something that it's remember pre and post. It's something that it's before and something that it's after. So we have the first sound. It has an effect on the following. The one that's following, the one that comes after, is the second sound. So it was progressive assimilation. Now, Camila Gonzalez, can you help me, Camila, to read the question?
Yes, Miss, again.
Thank you very much. So for $400.
A manner of simulation which occurs when there is a fusion. A. Progressive assimilation. B. Coalescent assimilation. C. Regressive assimilation. And D. None of the above.
Thank you very much. So is it progressive, regressive, coalescent, or none of the above? And finally, you have you have 20 seconds from now on, because the messages are being sent. Is this definition the one of progressive, regressive, coalescent, or none of the above? So you all voted for letter B, and letter B was the correct answer. This is the definition of coalescent assimilation. And remember that in the other ones, one was in the case of progressive, the first phonemes affected the second one. In the case of regressive, the second one affected the first one. And in this case, it is a fusion between the two, and because the phonemes meet at a point in between the two different phonemes, right? So this is a fusion. Now, for the $500 question, $500 question. If you have any questions, by the way, you can ask me while we are while we are doing the questions. So now for number 5, can Diego Farias read the question, please?
Okay. A bad person is an example of what type of assimilation? Progressive, coalescent,
Coalescent.
regressive, or none of the above.
Correct. Thank you very much. I am writing the answers, I mean, not the answers, the options in the chat. And once they are all up, you're going to have 20 seconds. So now you have 20 seconds. The winning answer is where am I? Letter C, regressive assimilation. So you are correct. I want to see them. There it is. Now, for the this one was on. Now for the $1,000 question. The question is, Diego Troncoso, can you help me, please, Diego?
Which of the following alternatives is not an example of progressive assimilation? Letter A, football. Letter B, killed. Letter C, pigs. Letter D, girls.
Thank you very much. You have 20 seconds. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, by the way. If you see
We are learning.
Exactly. If you see that somebody else chooses a different alternative, you don't need to change your answer if you're sure on yours. So we have letter D, letter B, letter A. This one is it's more closed than the other. So we have 2, 2, 2. I need at least one more answer because this is a draw, and we cannot have a draw. So what do you reckon? Which is not an example of progressive assimilation. Remember progressive assimilation when the first sound influences the second one. So what happened to the rest, the ones who are not voting? I know you're here. So we have one more answer, please, so we can move on. It's okay, let's check. This one, let's analyze every single one of those alternatives. Let's start by the last one, the case of girls. Girls. In the case of girls, I don't know if you remember that when I presented the content of progressive assimilation, I show you some words, and I talked about, and I explained to you that the first letter, in this case, the first sound, the one that it's going to affect the second one, it was in certain cases, and I named inflectionals, endings like s and ed, and I also mentioned that in the case of, for instance, the plurals, the previous letter, the second letter follows the place of articulation of the first, the voicing of the first one. So in the case of girls, the L sound is voiced. Therefore, the plural of that one, it's going to be voiced as well. It's going to be girls. In the case of pigs, the same happens in that case. The J is voiced. Therefore, the pigs, the Z, the S, the letter S that is at the end, it's going to be pronounced as Z. In the case of letter B, that is killed, the D agrees in voicing with the L, so killed. It's going to be voiced as well. And in the case of football, I don't know if you remember, but sometimes the letter T changes when it's followed by the B. And instead of saying football, we are going to say football. Football. So the odd one there is letter A, which it is the answer, football in this case. Now, number 7, which is a 2000 question. And for this one, thank you very much, Mr. Bruno. There you go. For this one, I am going to ask Diego Troncoso.
Okay.
Did I ask? I don't think I asked you. So can you read the question, please?
No problem. Which one of the following alternatives is not an example of regressive assimilation? Letter A, tank. Letter B, think. Letter C, bank. Letter D, bags.
So I think I already sent you the letter A, B, C, and now letter D. It's going to be at the end. Thank you very much, Diego. Now it is Bastian. Now you have 20 seconds. So letter D, it has all the votes. So let's check. Which one of the following alternatives is not an example of regressive assimilation? Regressive assimilation, remember the second sound changes the first one. And we have the words tank, think, bank, and bags. So in this case, the correct answer is letter D. Why, you may ask? Well, in this case, in the case, for instance, of letter A, tank, the final sound influences the letter N that is present there, and it's not pronounced as tank, but tank. I mean, I need to use the N changes to an, and the same happens in the case of bank and think. And in this case, bags is an example of progressive assimilation. So all the other ones are regressive except for letter D. Now, for number 8, can you help me, Gaspar?
Yes, miss, no problem.
Thank you very much. While I am writing the options in the chat. Go ahead, please.
Okay. In colloquial speech, the phrase 10 bikes, the phoneme N changes to N, B, N.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, miss.
You can cast your vote now because the answers are on the chat. So in this case, you are correct because the N sound has fallen under the influence of the B sound. So it's going to adapt, it's going to adopt the place of articulation of B, but no, it's not going to adopt the plosiveness. So it's going to remain as a nasal consonant, in this case, Now for the following one, number 9. Let me check the chat. I mean the list of participants. Ignacio, can you help me with that one, please?
To read it?
Yes, please. The question and the answers.
In the phrase light blue, there is a change of which phonemes? T to B, T to K, T to P, or T to B.
Thank you very much. Now you have 20 seconds to cast your vote. So 3 votes on C, 1 on D, 1 on A. In this case, for the $8,000 question, the answer is letter C. The T changes to a P when it's followed by a B. So letter C was the correct answer. Now for the double of the money. For $16,000. Question number 10. Can you please help me, Javiera de la Fuente? Please. Are you there, Javiera? Can you speak? Judith, can you read the question, please?
In the sentence, I have 10 cups. There is a change of the phoneme n of the word 10. To which phoneme? A, B, M, D, D.
Thank you very much. So there is a change in the of the phoneme n, right? I am writing the options in the chat because Mr. Bruno was right. When you use your phone to write on the chat, it is way much faster. So now you have 20 seconds. So we have one vote for letter B, 1 for C, and 3 for D. And the answer is 4 for D. Letter D. In the case of I have the k of cups influenced the n sound, and it's ng. So I have 10 cups. 10 cups. Well done. Now, for $32,000, Question number 11. Can you please, Maite, read the questions and the alternatives, please? Maite? Mariano? No? You cannot speak. Marieta? Hello. No. I'm going to read this one then. And it says, what is the correct phonemic transcription of the word gunpoint once assimilated? The first option, letter A, is gunpoint. Letter B is gunpoint. Letter C is gap point. Or letter T is gut point. Very similar, but we need to pay attention to only one phoneme here. So, what does the chat say? We have 4 votes to letter B, 1 to A. Ten more seconds. In this case, the correct answer is letter B, because in this case, when we have an N that is followed by a P, the P changes the letter N and it is pronounced not as an N sound, but as a M sound. So it's gunpoint. Gunpoint. Yes? Yes or not? Now for the question number 12. For $64,000. Nicolas, can you read the questions? The question? Sapka?
Yes.
Can you please read the questions?
What is the correct phonetic transcription of the phrase, would you once assimilated? A, would you? B, would you? C, would you? D, none of the above.
Thank you very much. You have the alternatives on the chat, and that was it. What is the correct phonetic transcription of the phrase, would you? Would you once assimilated? We have 1 vote. We need more because of the time. So that's right. Letter C. Would you? Would you? Would you is the correct answer, because we have the final D and G, and a D and a J, and those come together and they become j. So it's would you. It is not with us the z. It is not with the j. I mean not the j, the ja, but with the j. So would you. And I think this is going to be the last one we do. And it says, up and about is an example of letter A, progressive assimilation, letter B, regressive assimilation, letter C, coalescent assimilation, or letter D, none of the above. You have 20 seconds. And do we have more answers in the chat? We have for letter B, regressive assimilation. And let's see. It was letter A. And why, you may ask? Because in this case, we have up and about. In this case, the P is affecting the N sound that comes after, in this case. Here we also have another feature that we are going to cover in the following sessions. But in this case, the P is affecting the N sound, and it becomes an So it's up and about. Up and about. This one, it was trickier. That's why it's the $125,000 questions. And this is the last one. And now, yeah, before the break, we have 2 more minutes. And it says in the phrase, "My dog is a good boy," which is the assimilation rule? So we have 14, letter A, B, C, or D. And the alternatives are D changes to P, P, D changes to B, D changes to T, and letter D, it's none of the above. So we have for letter B 2 votes. One more vote. One more vote. Thank you very much. So you are correct. It was the D changes to B. So it's like, my dog is a good boy. A good boy. Good boy. And the last 2 ones, the 500,000 question was an open question, actually. It wasn't like, you don't have to choose an answer, but because of the time, I am going to just ask you this question. You don't need to write. Well, if you want to write in the chat, it's perfectly fine. But with your own words, what is the definition for you of assimilation? For you, what is assimilation? That is the question. And this is going to be the recap before the break. By the way, now we're going to have the break. What do you think?
When a phoneme transform other or change other.
Okay. Great. When a phoneme transforms others. Yeah, that's right. When
Yes.
a phoneme influences others as well, you can say, right? And that's
Yes.
what it is. in simple words? Perfect. And the last one is, it was write in the chat at least one example from your piece of homework of assimilation. And that it's going to be your homework for today as well. If, yeah, it's going to be your homework for today, maybe in the break or maybe at the end of the lesson, you can write at least one example of the ones you had to look for on the internet. And I am going to keep an eye on the chat so I can check them later. So with that being said, congratulations, you win the total prize of $1 million. So that was all for the first part of the session. Do you have any questions regarding this? No? Do you have any questions? Do you? Yeah, congratulations. So if there's no questions, you may have now a 10-minute break. So at 9:47, I will see you all at 9:47. Yes. Enjoy your break.
Okay, miss. See you.
See you.
See you later.